I love you, but how 4 words can break a child. The invisible wound right now, a parent is typing an email while their child shows them a drawing. That's nice, honey, but I'm busy. 4 words just taught that child they're an interruption. Somewhere else, a teenager gets their report card. I love you, but a B plus isn't going to get you into college. 4 words just taught them they're never enough. In our AI accelerated world where every notification feels urgent and productivity is our religion, we're teaching our children the most devastating lesson. You are loved conditionally. What if I told you this phrase is creating an epidemic of adults who burn out trying to earn what should have been freely given? Who mistake exhaustion for virtue? This is about recognizing how we've all been programmed and how we're passing that programming to the next generation while scrolling through our feeds. Section 1: Love in the Time of Algorithms. Let me paint you a picture of modern conditional love. It's a parent at the playground, physically present but mentally calculating KPIs, occasionally looking up to say good job without seeing what their child did. It's family dinner where how was school really means, did you achieve anything today? The phrase I love you but is psychological conditioning disguised as guidance. Every but is a tiny rejection, building an architecture of doubt. I love you, but you need to try harder. I love you, but why can't you sit still like your sister? I love you, but you're too sensitive. Here's what's terrifying. In our hyper-connected culture, parents deliver these messages more than ever often without speaking. We've entered an era of digital conditional love. Every time we prioritize a Slack notification over a child's story, every time we post their achievements but not their everyday magic, we're teaching them their worth fluctuates like cryptocurrency. The modern parent, racing to keep up with AI speed demands, has become the CEO of their child's self-worth, treating love like quarterly earnings that must exceed expectations. We're so busy preparing them for an unpredictable future that we're forgetting to love them in the present. Section 2: 5 Wounds That Last a Lifetime. Let me tell you what happens to these children, because I see them as adults, scrolling through self-help content at 2 a.m., wondering why nothing feels like enough. First, they become human doings, not human beings. When love is tied to achievement, rest becomes dangerous. They grow into adults who panic during vacations, who feel guilty for sleeping 8 hours, who answer "How are you?" with their accomplishments. They apologize for being sick, work through grief, can't watch a sunset without thinking about what they should be doing. Second, they develop optimization anxiety. They believe they're a constant beta version, never the final product. They're paralyzed by choices because every decision must be optimal. They have 17 self-improvement apps, treating existence like a project that's perpetually behind schedule. Third, they lose presence. Conditional love teaches hypervigilance, constantly scanning for threats to worth. They can't enjoy compliments, waiting for the but. They're at their child's recital, but mentally preparing tomorrow's meeting. They live in perpetual performance review. Fourth, they confuse intensity with intimacy. Any response, even criticism, feels safer than being ignored. They create drama to feel connected, choose chaos over peace. Calm feels like abandonment. They have learned love requires effort, so effortless love feels fake. Fifth, the parent's voice becomes their operating system. That but becomes their internal algorithm, running 24/7. It says you're lazy when they rest, you're weak when they struggle, you're not enough when they're simply being. They think self-criticism is self-improvement, self-punishment is discipline. If you're feeling too seen right now, you're finally understanding why you've been running so hard for so long. Hit subscribe right now, not for my metrics, but for weekly reminders that your worth isn't a variable. Turn on notifications. Think of these as invitations to remember you're human, not a machine. Share this with someone drowning in the pressure to be perfect. Sometimes the most loving thing is starting the conversation we've been avoiding. Comment below. What but from your childhood still echoes in your head? Let's witness each other's wounds to heal them together. Section 3, Breaking the Cycle. Here's where hope enters. You can be the generation that stops passing on the wound, but it requires something radical, choosing connection over perfection. First, practice presence over performance. Set one daily airplane mode hour. No devices, no agendas, just connection. Sit on the floor, be silly. One parent started useless time, 15 minutes doing purposeless things. Her anxious son told her, useless time is when I feel most useful. Second, normalize imperfection loudly. Share failures with the same enthusiasm as wins. Say out loud, I messed up that presentation and I'm still valuable. Create failure parties. Celebrate attempts, not outcomes. In our optimization obsessed world, celebrating imperfection is rebellion. Third, create unconditional moments, daily rituals with no purpose except connection. 20-second hugs, count them. Feel your nervous system sink. Bedtime gratitudes about who they are, not what they did. I love how your mind works. I'm grateful you exist. Fourth, redefine success together. Ask your family, what makes a good day? They'll say things like, when we laugh together, or when I feel heard, rarely mentioning achievements. Write these down, create your own metrics, hugs given, real conversations, moments of presence. Fifth, model self-compassion, out loud, narrate your self-forgiveness. I forgot the meeting, and that's okay, I'm human. You're programming a new internal voice, one that speaks with kindness. Section 4, the and revolution. Here's what changes everything. Replace but with and. Your behavior was unacceptable, and I love you completely. You failed the test and you're still brilliant. You're struggling and you're still worthy, but invalidates everything before it. And holds space for both truths. In our race to keep up with artificial intelligence, we're forgetting humans aren't meant to be optimized, we're meant to be loved. While teaching our children to code, who's teaching them their worth isn't conditional on their ability to compute. Every time you choose presence over productivity, celebrate who your child is rather than what they achieve. Model rest as a right, not a reward. You're performing an act of resistance against a culture that profits from insecurity. Closing, your worth was never a variable. To the child in you still waiting to be enough, you can stop running now. Your worth was determined the moment you took your first breath, not your first achievement, your first breath. Love isn't Wi-Fi, it doesn't need conditions to connect. In a world profiting from your insecurity, loving yourself unconditionally is the ultimate disruption. You're raising the generation that will determine whether our AI-augmented future has any humanity left. Hit that like button as a commitment to yourself. Subscribe to Mindflow Balance. Join thousands choosing connection over optimization. Comment 1. But you're removing from your vocabulary this week. Share this with someone who needs to remember their worth isn't negotiable. Every time you choose unconditional love, you're healing generational patterns that have run like outdated software for decades. Your worth was never a variable, it was always a constant. You were always enough. No buts about it. Follow at Mindflow Balance for weekly reminders that in a world of artificial everything, your authentic self is your superpower. Take care of the child within you who's been waiting to hear they're loved. Period. End of sentence. At Mindflow Balance, at Unconditional Love, Conscious Parenting, at Break the Cycle, at Worth is Not Negotiable.